Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Tonight I'm doing the Monday night, MoonBabes Monday Night Light on a Tuesday. So happy Tuesday. We are going to chat about some fun things tonight. Hi, Hannah. So since I actually did remember to announce it, let's see if we can wait on a few people that are joining us. And those of you that know me know that whenever I say a time, I end up it's like a plus 10 to 15 minutes, but it's good because then, you guys start coming on and that's awesome. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Let me know, going up on a Tuesday, let me know how you're doing today, what you guys are feeling, if you're feeling all the energy and the shifts that are happening. That's kind of what I really want to talk about tonight is the energy of what is going on our planet really as a whole, and then the cosmic energy and the transits that are happening in our system, in our solar system. We're being affected very much on a level that's affecting our grounding. So and the way that we ground. And so I really wanted to talk about this new energy that's coming in called New Earth, right? So we are creating New Earth. And you guys just let me know if you're following what I'm saying, comment on it. If you have questions, let me know. I know that we kind of have a mixed group, a mixed tribe, and I love that. And so some of you know a little bit more than others, and I want to make sure that I help all of you and I answer your questions, because this is a really big transition that we're going through as a planet, really. And what we're basically doing is we are transitioning from an old way of living to a new way of living, okay? And no matter where you're at in your path of life, in your spiritual awakening, in your in what's happening with your life, you're kind of feeling like, okay, you guys are with me, thanks. You're kind of feeling like there's a shift, right? Really grumpy, yeah, and angry over the weekend. Yes, okay, so a lot of us are feeling this way. In fact, let me back up and talk about kind of what's been the feeling. So the feeling is a lot of like just discomfort, general discomfort, a lot of irritation, lots of nausea, headaches, also exhaustion, and just for no particular reason, just being short for no particular reason, like you're done, like things just get to us. And I've noticed it even with my husband the other day. We were like, we just need like a day of a time out, because everything we said, it was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't handle it. And we were just exploding. And a lot of people have been feeling that way. So why is this happening? What's going on? So this is a big transit that's happening astrologically, okay? So on the 15th of this month, we had the new moon in Taurus. And then we also had Uranus, the planet of rebellion, the planet of freedom, the planet of ascension, that moved into Taurus. We had a lot of Taurus energy at that time, and it was a new beginning. New moons are always new beginning. It's fresh new energy. It's new beginning coming in. So the Uranus transit, what's happening, and I'm talking about this even though it happened on the 15th, because this is going to be with us for like 20 plus years, okay? So we are going to look at kind of how this is going to affect us. So the sign of Taurus is about, okay, Hannah, I'll talk about that. Okay. So, and if I don't, remind me, write it up again. So the sign of Taurus is about our values, our value system. It's about money. It's about love. It's about the way that we relate to our material world, right? Remember? I always think about Material Girl from Madonna. The way that we relate to our material world is being challenged completely to be reevaluated right now. But in addition to the material world, which is why you're starting to see shifts in the financial system, money's changing, material finances, all sorts of things like that are kind of like, we feel a little bit different about it. It doesn't mean that it's changing big time, but we kind of just have this feeling that's changing, right? And then, thank you, Lucy. And then we're also being challenged in love. And so our relationship are being challenged because why love? Because Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is the planet of love. So it's going to be affecting us in so many different areas. And if you really want to see where the transit and where the planet Uranus specifically affects you, then you have to go and pull up your birth chart. So your astrology birth chart, and see which house it's in. Look at the sign that your Uranus is ruled by, and then the house, okay? And it was so funny when I looked at this with my husband. I was like, I'm going to pull up our charts to see what the hell is going on and why we can't get along, because when it's on that level, you know something else is going on, which is good to recognize. So when you guys are feeling really far out of character, it's good to recognize that it's something external. It's time to go like, whoa, okay, what's going on? And so when we looked at it, we looked to see, and we both had it. Uranus was in the 8th house. That's the house of death and rebirth and of transformation. So it's super, super intense for both of us. So it's a huge reevaluation. How would you look up your chart? Go to cafeastrology.com, astra.com, or just even Google natal chart. There's a lot of websites that offer it for free. So you can find it, and then you can see that. And that's where you can discover a little bit more about how it affects you. And you can Google all this stuff. So look, once you figure out which house it's in, once you figure out which sign it's in, just Google the meaning of that, and then you can kind of piece it together if you're not too practical with this stuff. So, but then you can kind of have a better idea, and knowing is the beginning, right? Now, on a broader level, this is the entire planet. This hasn't happened since the 1930s, by the way. This transit is so huge because it hasn't happened since the 1930s. So it's shifting our energy, it's propelling it forward, it's starting the new cycle, and it's having us truly figure out, where do we stand? Where do I find my freedom? What's important for me? Where are my values? What do I really actually believe in? I thought that this was true, but really, is it? Is it important for me right now? Is this really the stuff that I want to do right now? Are these the things I want to wear even? It's on every level. So we're just kind of re-questioning, and in the moment that we question, then we reground into a new set of belief systems, right? A lot of this regrounding is happening spiritually. A lot of old belief systems that were religious and spiritual systems are kind of just, everybody's figuring out, you know what, it doesn't really matter. There's so many ways out there of thinking, so many religions, so many schools of thought, so many philosophies, so many non-religious philosophies that also tell you about spirituality, right? It's kind of everywhere. But the bottom line is that you got to find it for yourself. Nobody can tell you. We all got to do the work. It's too easy to go to church and have everybody tell you, right? Like, this is what you need to do. Just do this and you're going to be good. That's not how it works. And if you go to church, that's great. I mean, I love that, but you're still going to have to find the spirituality for yourself. The people, going to church or doing something doesn't make you 100% at that particular thing. I know it sounds a little rough, but, but, just because you wear tall shoes, like tall, runway heels, doesn't make you a runway model, right? It's kind of like, however you want to say that. The point is that you really want to find your connection to your spiritual line, your spirituality. This is you. Nobody can take that away from you. Once you establish it, it doesn't matter if anybody else says something different, because then you know it and you feel it and you can tune in and you don't get shaken up by this outer stuff, right? So when we're feeling all of these things, we're feeling all of these feelings, and we're like, man, I'm usually like a happier person, or generally I don't get this irritated about things, or I'm extra irritable, then notice that it's outside in coming in, right? And that's not how we want to live. We want to live inside out. So we want to create our own state of being. We want to have it come in. And I keep going like this because this is like, the universe. This is the creator line. This is the spiritual line. It's coming in. It's everything that comes in through the crown chakra, through a chakra pillar right here. So with that being said, we are working through recalibrating and getting a hold of this new energy. So what's up with New Earth, what's happening. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of YouTubers that are talking about New Earth, a lot of people that are channeling beings that are talking about the New Earth. You need to know and be able to judge what is good and what is not with your own instincts. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So, does the irritation stay around for a while? Yeah, we have been through a process of just really, it's like upheaval and like reassessment. So what do you do? And so we're getting to that point. So what do we do? So we need to ground into a new frequency where this doesn't happen. We are bypassing the timeline. So this is a timeline where everybody's irritable, right? Imagine line being on a line. So the timeline. So it's probably why they call it that, right? It's a line of time. So this is a timeline where you're irritable, where like, you say this to the next person says something negative to somebody else, and it keeps going and it keeps going. And sometimes you're going to be able to start catching yourself in the moment. I can feel it coming. I can see how if I say one thing or if I say another, it can go two completely different direction, right? And you are literally deciding which timeline you want to go on, if you want to choose the higher frequency or if you want to choose the lower frequency. As all of these little choices come up, then you are separating yourself more and more from the higher frequencies. So choose the higher, better, vibrations. And sometimes it is really hard, but this is exactly what we're doing. And it's a mental challenge. Imagine that you are in a video game where you are truly being mentally challenged. Like, we really have to check in, we have to tune in, and we have to mentally step up to the plate so that we can spiritually do the work. You can't let your thoughts take you over. This is like a parenthesis, but I recently found out through one of my Kundalini teachers, and I never knew this, that the human mind, okay, so when a person passes away, when our spirit leaves our body, our human mind, hi from Brazil, I love it. The human mind without the spirit will continue to be active for 17 hours. So our response system in our brain continues to fire and our thoughts keep going without our spirit being in the body. When I figured this out, when it hit me, I was like, oh my gosh, it is not our spirit and our mind, this is our job, is to make them work together. But our mind goes off on its own, whether anybody's home or not. So whether our spirit is in tune or not, your mind will keep going. So it's our job really to train it and to make sure that, we have a hold of our thoughts. This is exactly why we meditate. Meditation is really not to get rid of all of our thoughts together, but to be able to control our thoughts, to be able to flow them, to be able to allow them to be, but not have them take us over. So we need to be in charge of our thoughts, not our thoughts be in charge of us. So now back to, what are we doing with this? Obviously, meditation to me is always the answer. There's always a meditation to answer, whatever's going on. But specifically right now, you want to meditate to ground into the new earth. So what is the new earth? The new earth is literally, like we were talking about this timeline, right? This line of time. So energetically, there is like a new grid of light that is being formed, that's actually fully formed as of recently, as of this month. It is fully formed around the planet, around the earth. And this is a new frequency that you can get grounded in. It's known as 5D and beyond. It's known as New Earth. It's known in very, many different ways. But basically, it's the better, higher vibration. It's the vibration of love. It's where everyone that is starting to awaken, that is already awakened and having a hard time with what's going on right now, that's where you want to ground, okay? Where does that look like? What does that look like, and how do you find it? So hopefully a lot of you already know how to get grounded. When you get grounded, and I suggest you do this standing up, okay? Because we are carriers of light. We think of yourself like a light bulb, right? You want to plug in, and your feet are like the whatever it's called, that little part, the end of the light bulb where you plug in, okay? That's your feet. Your feet have chakras in them. So plant your feet nicely on the ground. Feel it. Feel the ground and feel yourself being connected. And if you can do this outside on the earth, on the grass, that's even better. But connect to the ground and then feel your chakras under your feet connecting to a grid of light, kind of like a magnetic field. Like if you were wearing moon boots and you were on the moon, which doesn't make any sense, but this is what's coming to me. But basically, if you were wearing magnets under your feet and you were connecting with magnets, right? And that's literally what happens under the bottom of your feet. So you connect to this grid, and when you connect to this grid, don't just stop there. Make sure that you actually find the heartbeat of the earth, okay? So go through it. Go through the grid by intention. Go find the heartbeat. Go find the connection. Go find the part that is alive. Go find the part that you will resonate with. And expand through the grid if you're able to. If your breath will allow you to, then you go all the way around and you follow the grid, okay? And this grid for the new earth, if you haven't been there, if you haven't found it, the color of it, the vibration, the feeling that you will get, it's like a turquoise golden light. And if you're a visual person, you'll feel it. You'll see it. If you are feelings, more of an empath person, everybody kind of connects to it in a different way. You may feel certain feelings. You may feel a certain frequency. So this is where you want to ground in. It's 5D to 9D. It's 5D and beyond. Really, there's a lot of, in fact, I think it changed today because I felt the shift, but I didn't stop to see how far out it went. But it's 5D and beyond, and this is the new earth. This is where you want your feet to be grounded. This is what you want to get used to. This is the frequency of love, abundance, and happiness that you truly want to connect, not just mentally by saying affirmations, but physically and energetically. If you can do that, and if you can connect to the new earth grid and the new earth frequency, then you will feel a shift. That irritability will go away. The outside to inside will go away because you will be plugged in to a new frequency that will power you with light and love, and you will start acting from the inside out, if that makes sense. Okay, so do you guys have questions about that? You can type them up. I'm gonna have a little water. Hannah, what was your question again? I don't know if you're on again. I know that I'm losing a few of you. It's going in and out, but I can't remember the question. But if you guys have questions, and hi to all of you that have been saying hi. I saw London. I saw Brazil. I love that you guys are tuning in. And if you're, finding yourself on my channel, it's because you are looking into deeper and bigger and better things in life. Hannah, what was your question again? Sorry. I remember that you had one, but I forgot. Sorry about that. But I wanted to answer your guys' questions about the just the energy and what's going on. So again, if you're finding yourself being irritable, being tired, all of those things, ground yourself into the new earth. Depressed for no reason and snapping at the people you love. Yeah, that's absolutely what's going, that's the feeling. So this is what we need to do, is we really need to shift our frequency. How you would feel the heartbeat. Okay, quiet area is best. Yes. So find yourself in a quiet area, and then see if you can find it. Connect to your heartbeat first. So find the connection with your own heartbeat first, and then energetically dig down and find the earth. That's the best way to do it. Oh, good. I'm so glad that my talk on the 15th helped. Oh, that's great news. Thanks for sharing that. I love the feedback. Okay, you're curious about your opinion on how things are clearing. So things are clearing out. Honestly, there's a lot of there's a lot of us that are doing a lot of ground workers, a lot of grid workers, a lot of light keepers that are doing a lot of work to clear things out. So and we have a lot of angelic support. We have a lot of star being support. If I could project with you, If I could show you an image of what I see in my mind when I astral travel and when I see things, it's amazing the amount of support, the amount of love that is around the earth. That doesn't mean that it's all positive. There's a bunch of other stuff that is negative that's going on out there, but love is prevalent and it's amazing. So yeah, so if you're having health problems, I also had that. I had like the craziest like intestinal stomach thing that all of a sudden happened. I know a lot of people are having, our body is clearing. So we're clearing, we're adjusting to the new frequency. We are it's like we're integrating, and so our physical body is adjusting. It's literally like our DNA is evolving. We are going from having 2 strands of DNA to 12 strands of DNA. So it's kind of like, I often refer to this, there's like a meme, one of the spiritual memes that, has somebody that's like, and they're like meditating, and it says, it looks like I'm like really, it looks like I'm really still right now, but on a molecular cellular level, I'm really busy because our cells are doing a lot of work. So we definitely need a lot more rest. I saw somebody asking, how do you get grounded? So you can get grounded with your breath. You can get grounded by breath and intention. That's the best way of doing it. There's ways of getting grounded to, like, for example, if you find it hard to get grounded, go out into nature, plant your feet firmly into the ground, find the connection to Mother Earth. That will automatically bring your energy and your awareness down to the bottom of your feet. How do you do it? With breath. When you breathe in, close your eyes, you breathe in, and imagine that with every breath, you bring in light to your body. So bring in light to your body. You're welcome, Hannah. Bring in light to your body until all of your cells are filled with light, okay? And then you connect that light to the light of the earth. That is a very powerful way of grounding. But however you establish a connection with the earth, it's like your consciousness, like when you close your eyes and you breathe, and then you exhale, right? When you exhale, imagine your energy going down. Down with every breath, you push not your energy, but like your consciousness. You can also think of it as energy or however it works. Imagine yourself, you're projecting yourself going down, 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 down until you go through every layer of the earth, the crust, all the different layers. And, you go until you find like there's a place that you can anchor into, that you can go, boom, I've landed, and you will know. That is the deepest kind of grounding that you can do for yourself. I have a video on my YouTube. I think it's up. It was from a free course that I did. If it's not, I'll have to put it up. It's really old, so it sounds a little bit different, but it talks about how to get grounded. So check out my my channel. The link is in my bio. Is it normal to be tired and losing energy? Yes, it is. You probably want to make sure that you strengthen your aura you want to be in alignment and making sure that you're not leaking energy. How long is this particular movement? It is going to be going on, I think it's till 2026, I want to say. So it's going to be around for a few years. Right now, we're feeling it. Most astrologers are saying that we're going to feel it for a few months, anywhere between a few weeks to a few months. So we are definitely feeling it. And it's not that it's going to go away. It's that we are going to change. So we are going to adapt. And so we're going to be able to, oh man, sorry guys, sneeze. So we are going to be able to jive with it more. So we're going to adapt to the energy. Because it's kind of like we're on this, it's like we're going up, right? And we are getting used to it. We are hiking up, the altitude, the air is getting rarefied, like we're going up. And so we are adjusting. Little by little, we're learning, we're adjusting, we're growing. It's really not a time, we're not allowed to be still on this planet anymore. Energetically, we are shifting, we are growing, and we keep on moving. So yeah, absolutely, you guys. So I hope that it's helpful. I am going to continue doing MoonBabes on the Monday night live. So yesterday, because it was my 6-year wedding anniversary, I promised my husband I wouldn't do it. So I'm on tonight instead. But Monday nights, I'm always live. If you have questions, you can inbox me and then we'll talk about them next week. You're going to always find me generally at some point between 6 and 8 Mountain Time. What does it mean to be spiritual? So thank you. So what does it mean to be spiritual? To me, and everything, thank you, Anna, to me, and I feel like this is probably a wider, I can only ever give you my experience and my opinion from my perception of things, and you always want to find people that you resonate with, that where you feel like, okay, yeah, that made sense for me, like that answer made sense for me. So to me, being spiritual is when you find your own connection that you establish to the higher power that is the universe, that is God, that is creator, that is, the higher force, where you can actually connect and feel completely in love, loved, in love. Sometimes when I actually connect and through my connection, I can just cry. Like I feel so much love. I feel just engulfed and wrapped in light and love. So I'm going to answer that question. What's up with the tingling in the body in just a second. So being spiritual is having your own established connection. It means that you are like an independent thinker, spiritual person, which thinker and spiritual doesn't necessarily go together, but yeah. So that's just kind of, that's what it means. It means that you have a connection to God, to creator, to the universe, to all that is outside of anyone else's belief system. So, and also that you're very attuned to all things energy. That's really what it means to me too. What's up with the tingling in the body? Okay, so a lot of the times energy in the body feels like tingling. That is a very good question, actually. It means you're integrating energy, you're integrating life, light. So pay attention to where it's happening, what it's happening. Sometimes if it's in a small part, like sometimes I'll get it in like a small section, like right here on my forearms, for example, or on my wrist or on my hands. And I know that this is where my angels and my guides actually tap me. And if I don't pay attention, they'll actually like kind of, that I'll feel it. I'll feel the fact that their hand is on me and it kind of feels like tingling. So you'll get used to that if that's what it is. If not, if you're feeling like it's a great, bigger area tingling, if you're tingling while you're meditating, for example, I mean, it kind of depends, but you're integrating light and you're just really feeling the energy that is around you. So tune in to see if you can tell what it's about. And a lot of times, you guys, give yourself more credit in like knowing what you don't think that you know, because a lot of times it's like, what's your instinct on it? Whenever you have a question, right, because something is happening that's external, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is this about? See the thought that pops up, whatever thought comes first. A lot of times it's right on. A lot of times it's like other voices too, but I'm going to say like 70 to 80% we're right on with our instinct, right? So check into that. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next week on Monday night on the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. Much love.